Greetings and welcome to the Nightmare Cabin, your sanctuary to hide and hanker down and listen to metal while all hell breaks loose out there. 2021, with everything that's going on, at least it's shaping up to be a good year for metal. There's some good releases that have already been announced, and I've got some pre-orders on the go. But this turned up today, so this is what we're focusing on. We're going to be doing an unboxing and a quick review. This will be the new album from Deparavity from Australia, and this is the first album playing in the background. Both these albums are on Transcending Obscurity, a fantastic record label from India, which I'll get into them a bit later and go through a bit of their roster. But yeah, this is a real solid, real fantastic piece of death metal, and when you put out, you know, an absolute monster for your first album, well, what do you do next? Well, you do what Deparavity did. You follow it up with another one. Let's get this out first, and then we'll get into it. So, what I've got there, the sky was the limit with this. Transcending Obscurity, they really do put a lot of effort in. They have fantastic packaging. They really do make an effort with their layouts. They've done. They do vinyls, all different multicoloured splatter vinyls. I've got the last Paganizer, Roger Johansson's, one of his many projects. Everything looks fantastic, and this did come, you could get it in like a wooden box. You could get it as a vinyl in a wooden box, a CD in a wooden box. But with Christmas and all the madness going on, I just couldn't really afford that. And not only that, postage just seems to be getting more and more unreasonable, shall we say. So, not that I blame the label's fault. They're, you know, they're rolling with it just like the rest of us. But yeah, I might do that one day. But for this, I just decided to get the CD and the cassette. So let's have a look. And here we go. This is the new album, Grand Malevolence. I'm going to take this plastic off as well. What do you need to know about this album? Well, pretty much it's a straightforward sequel to the first album, but if you're not familiar with the band, just think Suffocation, a bit of Hate Eternal, bit of Morbid Angel. It's pretty technical, pretty bludgeoning and unforgiving, but the band have, that's awesome. There's like a nice sheen over the artwork, is amazing. This is really well done. What I might do as well is show you a oh yeah, look, I think, oh right, yeah, look, it's like an inverted cross. That's awesome. What you sometimes get as well with Transcending Obscurity, they used to do these box sets as well, where you got like a stickers, patches, and all the rest of it. I'll see if I've got one down here. I normally keep them in my box sets. I normally keep in the back one there, but we'll get into that later. Yeah, so think, you know, if you like the heaviest type of death metal you can think of, so think Hate Eternal, think maybe a bit of Nile, but they split things up nicely with everything that's shredding and technical and things. They kind of balance things out. They'll put a nice little melodic riff in there, or they'll break things down with a nice quiet, like not a quiet section, but like a slow doomy section. What they'll do as well, there'll be like things that are just open up, so there'll be like a bam, down, 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 but then that'll be backed up by like some subtle keyboards as well, so there's some nice touches put in the studio. I noticed there was some keyboards as well. I think it's keyboards. I'll have to I'd like to speak to someone from the band but on things like Trophies of Inhumanity, for example, you kind of hear it. It's like, is that a bit of guitar effect or is that a bit of keyboard? But it sounds pretty cool. And there's the cassette. Let's get this. Let's look at a bit. But what's special about the band as well is that everything just stays catchy, everything stays interesting, everything's perfectly balanced and spaced out, so it's not just, you know, just, and it's just like all over the place. It's nice and conducive, it's easy to, you know, get your head around it. You're not just bludgeoned and then kind of just felt numb at the end of it. And I think this one is really brutal. But on my first listen, well, it's not my first listen, I've listened to it a couple of times now, but it seems on this album they've kind of just smoothed over the edges, really. They've took a step back and sort of thought about things a bit more, and yeah, they just improved as songwriters all round, really. So both albums are great, but I do think this one has a slight edge over it, which you'd expect from a second album. You want a band to get better, you know. So here's the cassette inlay. Artwork again is absolutely fantastic. And there, that's really cool. So yeah, I don't know what it is about Australia. Such a hot country, such laid back people, but when it comes to death metal, they knock it out of the park every time. And yeah, they've done, this is their, it's just the 2 releases they've done so far, but both of these have been absolute monsters. And I can tell you as well, when I found this first album, I was really finding it hard to find new releases that I liked, because everything I was listening just reminded me of someone else, to the point where I just wanted to listen to that other band, which we spoke about in a previous video. But this one totally knocked me off my feet. It's so brutal, and this is just as brutal, just as crazy, but you've got just nice little touches here and there that just break things up and make things a bit more manageable in your head, you know, to swallow, really. But yeah, this is going to be, again, with Frozen Soul doing that whole bolt thrower thing and a bit more doomy, this is much more technical and brutal and all over the place, and just nice subtle atmospheric touches. And I think that's where the Morbid Angel comparison comes from. They've got that, just that little extra something that they add to the songs, and yeah, I can't wait to see these guys live, put it that way. So yeah, I'll put links to the description. I'd easily give this a 9 out of 10. And yeah, if I gave the first album, give this a good 8 out of 10. Good solid intent, like statement of intent as a debut album. This is like a more established feet, you know, they've got their, say their feet on the ground, that's not what I'm thinking, more feet in the door sort of thing. They've got more, they're more comfortable on this album, you find, a bit more confident. So yeah, Depravity, check them out. I'll put links to the description of the album, but also I'll put another one of Transcending Obscurity. They've got a 2-disc, I don't know if it's 2 discs or not, I don't know where I got that from, but they've got a sampler out at the moment, which they've done a line of t-shirts and mugs, and that's the thing as well, anything you get on here, merch, they throw it at you, from t-shirts, long sleeves. The box sets are always worth picking up. You get beer mats and everything. But yeah, the new Wombath from Sweden's album, Heads for the Dead, fantastic project featuring Johnny Peterson, who's in a million bands. Down Among the Dead Men, of course, with David Ingram, who's now back in Benediction. You've got Live Burial, fantastic band from the UK. Harry Kane, that's like a grindcore project, and that again from Johnny Peterson. Vertebral, I think I'm pronouncing that right, from Paraguay. That's a really good album, Abysmal Decay. I've got that one as well up here somewhere. not sure, but yeah, again, everything is really nicely packaged. Paganizer is another great band. Roger Johansson, he's got a solo album on there as well. I'm going through it now. I'm remembering all the albums I've got. The Last Master album is on there. Deparavity, UK-based band. Yep, another fucking fantastic album. Yeah, anything death metal, black metal, doom metal, even. Check this out. Check this label out, because they really do put an effort in, and yeah, your money is well spent. Everything just looks fantastic. So yeah, something for the weekend. Depravity, brutal shredding death metal from Australia. Check them out. See you next time.